Ever feel like your brain has a mind of its own, constantly pulling you away from what you actually want to do? What if I told you that your brain isn't just easily distracted? It might actually be addicted to distraction. We live in a world that's constantly buzzing, shouting for our attention. From the moment we wake up, our phones are blinking, beeping, and demanding we check them. Social media feeds refresh infinitely. Streaming services offer endless choices, and news alerts pop up faster than you can blink. It's like living inside a giant digital candy machine, and our brains are just wired to keep hitting that lever for the next sweet hit. But this constant bombardment isn't just annoying. It's fundamentally changing how our brains work, training us to crave that next ping, that next scroll, that next quick burst of novelty. If you've ever felt trapped in a cycle of wanting to focus but just can't, then you're in the right place. Today, we're going to dive deep into why your brain is so susceptible to this digital siren song, and more importantly, how you can break free and regain control of your attention with a powerful strategy called a dopamine reset. So, let's talk about the master puppeteer behind this addiction, dopamine. You've probably heard of it. Dopamine isn't just about pleasure. It's our brain's primary motivator. It's the neurochemical that says, hey, this feels good, or this could feel good. Let's do more of it. When you get a new text, a like on your post, or even just scroll through an interesting headline, your brain releases a tiny squirt of dopamine. It's not necessarily a huge rush, but it's enough to create a feedback loop. Your brain starts associating that notification sound, that red badge icon, that fresh feed, with a potential reward. It's like training a dog with treats. Every time the dog does something you want, you give it a treat. Our phones and apps are essentially doing the same thing to us, but instead of treats, they're giving us microdoses of dopamine, conditioning us to check, click, and scroll more often. The problem is, this constant stimulation raises our baseline for what feels rewarding. Suddenly, quieter, more effortful tasks, like reading a book, working on a complex project, or even having a deep conversation, don't provide the same immediate, intense dopamine hit. They start to feel boring, difficult, or just not worth the effort because our brains are now wired for the quick, easy rewards. This creates a vicious cycle. The more we chase instant gratification, the less satisfying, meaningful, long-term activities become. We are essentially training our brains to be hyper-responsive to fleeting distractions, leading us down a path where focus and deep work feel almost impossible. This is where the idea of a dopamine reset comes in. Don't worry, it's not about becoming a joyless monk, cutting out all pleasure from your life. Not at all. Think of it more like hitting the reset button on your brain's reward system. The goal isn't to eliminate dopamine, but to recalibrate it. It's a strategic way to intentionally reduce your exposure to those hyper-stimulating, instant gratification activities that are constantly spiking your dopamine. By stepping away from the endless scrolling, the constant notifications, and the easily accessible entertainment, you give your brain a chance to cool down, to adjust its baseline. The purpose is to make those meaningful, longer-term activities, the ones that build skills, foster real connections, and lead to true fulfillment, feel rewarding again rather than dull. It's about training your brain to find satisfaction in the quieter, more profound experiences of life. So, how do you actually do a dopamine reset? The core principle is a period of abstinence from highly stimulating activities. This isn't a permanent ban, but a temporary break. The duration can vary widely depending on your goals and how entrenched your habits are. Some people might try a mini reset for just a few hours on a weekend afternoon. Others might commit to an entire day, a weekend, or even a full week. The key is to be intentional about what you're abstaining from. This typically includes things like mindlessly scrolling social media, binge-watching shows, playing video games, excessive internet browsing, and anything that gives you an immediate, easy dopamine hit without much effort. The goal is to reduce the constant influx of digital candy so your brain can learn to appreciate the home-cooked meals of life again. It might feel uncomfortable at first. That's your brain protesting the lack of instant gratification, like a withdrawal. But pushing through that discomfort is where the real change begins. But you can't just sit there doing nothing, staring at a wall for hours, right? The secret to a successful dopamine reset isn't just what you remove, but what you replace it with. During your reset period, you intentionally fill your time with activities that promote focus, creativity, well-being, and genuine connection, but which don't offer immediate, intense dopamine spikes. Think about activities that require a little more effort but offer deeper, more sustained satisfaction. This could include spending time in nature, like going for a long walk or a hike. It could be engaging in physical exercise, something that challenges your body and clears your mind. Reading a physical book, practicing meditation, picking up a creative hobby like drawing, painting, or playing a musical instrument, or even tackling that one household chore you've been putting off. The rewards from these activities are different. They don't give you that quick hit, but they provide a sense of accomplishment, calm, mastery, or presence that builds over time. By choosing these activities, you're not just avoiding distraction. You're actively rewiring your brain to find joy and fulfillment in more sustainable ways, naturally reducing your craving for instant gratification. The benefits of a dopamine reset can be incredibly transformative. While it's not a magic bullet or a quick fix, it requires discipline, self-awareness, and a willingness to step away from constant stimulation. The potential rewards are huge. You'll likely notice an improved ability to concentrate, making work, studying, or even just listening to a friend much easier. Your productivity can soar because your brain isn't constantly looking for the next shiny object. You might experience an enhanced overall sense of well-being, feeling less overwhelmed and more present in your daily life. That nagging feeling of boredom, which often drives us to pick up our phones, might start to diminish. Most powerfully, you'll develop an increased ability to resist those distracting urges. You'll gain back control over your attention rather than letting external stimuli dictate your focus. Ultimately, a dopamine reset isn't about deprivation. It's about reclaiming your focus, improving your life, and finding greater fulfillment in the things that truly matter. It's about training your brain to work for you, not against you. If you're ready to take back control of your attention and truly thrive in a distracting world, you'll want to watch our next video right here.